Okay, so we just got back from our 2-day ride on the weekend, and I had a chance to actually try out these XGP comms. You guys can see it here. I have it on my helmet. So first off, just to talk about the install of these, pretty simple. Nothing to write home about. I have it mounted on here with just a little. You guys should be able to see it. It's just like a little clamp that goes in. So I'll talk about some of the positives during our ride, and of course some of the little, I think, negatives. So I'll put in the helmet easy. Cables. One of the things I do like is they don't give you a crazy amount of cables. I have had some comms that the amount of cables that they give you, especially to go over to like the headset on this side, you're just like, how much cable do I need to tuck it in here? So it wasn't an enormous amount, which is great. It actually plenty, still more than you need, which is good. You guys may be able to see it in there. There they are, sitting, the speakers sitting inside right there. Fit the pocket good. Sound quality in regards to music and all that kind of stuff, decent. I'm not going to say they're as good as some of the high-end comms that you can get out there for sure, but my recommendation, which is what I did, is to put the helmet on inside the house and then play around with the adjustment of the speakers. Because the first time I did put them on, I was listening to music here and I was like, they're okay, but they sounded a little more tinny than I thought. So then I took them off because I could kind of feel, and I realized that the speakers, I needed to push them down and back a little bit more. So because they are on a Velcro padding, I could just kind of adjust them inside there. Finally got them to where I wanted, and it worked good. They worked. They sounded good here, so that when I took them out for a ride, music was good. Of course, if you're riding at highway speeds, you may need to have them up pretty loud at high. Are you going to get a lot of bass out of them? I don't say I got a lot of bass. I got enough bass. I found with most helmet speakers that, I don't know, maybe my helmets just aren't getting as much sound protection as they should, but I always find that they're definitely more on the high treble side, mid to trebles, than they are on the low end. But volume wise was good. I could still hear my music. I do ride a motorcycle that has a fair bit of wind protection in regards to a big windshield and things like that. That probably helps a lot. But I rode it with the face shield down, face shield up, and music was totally hearable. So that was good. So I also made a phone call while I had this on, and that was good. I actually find, I think sometimes the audio that goes through that, for some reason, I don't know why, when you're doing comms or phone, it seems to be louder. I don't know if it's something to do with how the phone is pushing sound to the comms or what, but that's also been my experience, again, with most motorcycle comms. I don't know why. So yeah, I would say, especially price point, you can get these for like $150 US for a 2-pack, which is awesome. They do have a universal pairing too. We didn't actually try that, but they do have it, so that should be good if you're trying to ride with other riders. Now realize that if you are going to be riding with other riders with different brand of comm, you need to make sure that they know how to get it into a universal pairing mode, as well as you know how to get this into a universal pairing mode, so that they will connect with each other properly. If not, that may be a bit of a headache. So the good things were audio quality was decent. Happy with the audio quality. Setting them up, getting them all hooked up. Pairing with my phone, really good. Pairing with the other comm, really good. That was easy. The instructions, the manual that you get with it, awesome. I do have an unboxing video, so if you guys want to see that and check it out, you can. I'll put a link down below or up here somewhere that you can go check out that unboxing video that shows the manual and all the gear that you get with this. So that was all good. Very pleased. I didn't check distance for that. We never really get very far from each other, but within that distance we were good. But there are a few things that I would like to possibly um, maybe them work on. The first one here was, and I talked about this piece here, like the actual comm. You get two options of installing this. One is with a 3M sticker, tape, whatever, double-sided tape. I didn't go with that. That one would remedy what I wanted, but I wanted to be able to move this between helmets, so I figured I'd use the little clamp. Now the clamp it's tight, but it just slides in. You can see it, right? It just slides in and out. And there is a few times that I would put my helmet on and wasn't paying attention, and this had slid, like, for one, it slid almost all the way down, so it wasn't connected, like it barely was holding onto the helmet. And one time, I'd actually stopped at a gas station, took my helmet off, all that stuff, and put my helmet back on. And then when I went to reach for the comm, it was actually sitting on my shoulder. I don't know if that's something to blame with the helmet being thin at the shell, but you may have a thin shelled helmet. It does allow it to go on really good, but the issue then becomes that it's also not easy, but it can fall down. So you just have to be aware of that. Some of my comms that I've tried, this piece here isn't just kind of like a clamp, right? Some of it has a tightening screw, so once it's on there, you can tighten it so that it's not going to come off, or it won't come off as easy. Now again, they do have a double-sided tape mount that you can use as well. So if it is on a helmet, like a singular helmet that you aren't going to move around, then I would just say just probably use that. It should work, and you kind of just get it where you want it. And that may be something that I think of as well, because my helmet does, you may be able to see it here if I move it up, it's thin, but then it gets like thick up here, and I'd actually rather have it sitting here than where it is right now. So like I can't get it up any further than there when it's here, because this piece widens so fast. So if I wanted to use the sticker one, I could get it up here, because right now the buttons, you really are feeding backwards trying to figure out where the buttons are when it's on. But that's a helmet issue, not a comm issue. But it is what it is. Just realize that, right? Now if I had the clamp with the screw, I may be able to get it up here and then just tighten it. Microphone is good. It works. Like I said, I could talk to people and stuff like that. But it's really hard, I find, because of course there's a proper way for it to face you, and then there's a not proper way. It's backwards. And the way the microphone is in here, it's hard, especially with gloves, for me at least. Maybe it's just me, to be able to tell which side is which. But that's whatever. This piece here, I don't know, I'd like it to be less flimsy, maybe. Again, I always use a boom mic, so on all my comms, because of course a lot of times I'm wearing half helmets or 3/4 helmets or anything like that. So I find this boom arm, it's just, sometimes I'd have it here, sometimes it would be out there. It's the wind would just push it around. I don't know. I'd like to see that a little stiffer. Big deal? No, probably not. Not a big deal, but it is something to be aware of. It is a little on the, I don't want to say flimsy, but it is something that I find could be a bit stiffer. Other than that, I think it's good. Again, the only two, and they're not downfalls, especially at the price point, is just the clamp and this arm. Other than that, you know what? I think these are really good. The XGPs, they never disconnected on me. I was able to ride. We rode the first day for, I don't know, 7-8 hours, and I charged it once we got to the hotel, and then they lasted both. I probably could have made it there and back, but I always charge just in case. I think at that price point, especially if you have your partner, someone who rides with, or you ride with someone all the time, that's going to be good. Oh, one more thing that and again, it's just I wear gloves. Like, I wear gloves all the time, and this time of year I wear thicker gloves. This button, pretty easy to feel. These buttons, easy to feel, which was good with gloves on. But I did find sometimes I'd be using my gloves just to because this button here, the G button here, you have to hold these two buttons down to turn it on, and you have to hold these two buttons down to turn it off. Sometimes I was really like trying to figure out where my, like I just kind of run my fingers back there so I could feel this button, the one that's actually lifted, elevated. And then once I could find it, I just kind of, the other one, I just kind of be like, I think it feels smooth because it doesn't have much of an elevation. I'd love to see this button have some texture on it or something, not just smooth, because this one you can find really easy. This one can be a little harder. It's big, which is good, but again, if you have big gloves on or anything like that, especially when the weather gets a little cooler, like I was riding in, the two of them can be a little difficult to find. I was kind of pushing down a few times. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm pushing on a button. And then because even this one, it has a click, but it's not a prominent click, I guess. Those are my little things. They're little things. It doesn't stop the performance of it by any means, but just realize that, you know, it is something. I'm nitpicking a little bit, which is what I'm supposed to do. All right, guys, that's the XGP Motorcycle Bluetooth Headset version 5.2. I believe that's the Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth 5.2. Yeah, you know what? They were good. Again, at $150 US for a pair. I think it's like $80 for a single. You can't really complain too much. All right, guys, I'll put links down below if you guys are interested in those, and that's it. I'm out. Later.